firstly, we have a comedian, actor, writer who's toured nationwide. She's performed as herself on the likes of Mock the Week and Jonathan Ross's Comedy Club, and as other people, acting in things like Bridgerton and Black Mirror, no big deal, whatever. But today we're celebrating her first novel, Sunny, so please give a big hand for this superb. Next up, an author, editor, former blogger, and wearer of really excellent collars. She's the co-host of podcast What Page Are You On? She's also written YA novels, No Big Deal, Melt My Heart, and edited plus-size style Bible, Plus Positive. But today it's all about her first adult novel, Welcome to Your Life. Please welcome to your life the amazing Bethany Rutter. So let's maybe start by having you both explain to everybody here a bit about your books.
So Sunny is the name of the book, but also the name of the protagonist. She's a British Punjabi woman who is born and bred in Gravesend, which is a tiny town in Kent, and she lives with her parents. She's 30, she's really not where she wants to be in life. All of her friends are engaged, married, having babies, buying houses. She's in her childhood bedroom eating her Poundland snacks. So yeah, it's basically a story about kind of finding love and looking for love in the wrong places as well, and also self-love.
Bethany?
So Welcome to Your Life is about a gal called Serena who has been in a very long-term relationship, and then on her wedding day just realises she cannot go through with it and does a runner at the last possible minute, and then sort of decides to start over again and moves to London and gets a new job and throws herself into a lot of dating and just sort of, begins again.
And also something you mentioned, and it's Serena does this, there's a realisation for her at some point that she's choosing men that she thinks will like her instead of choosing someone she actually fancies. That's kind of what you were saying, and I definitely used to do that. And so you're both nodding, that is something that you've done.
Yeah, I feel like it's something that I wrote as a specific fat girl behaviour, but I think is maybe common to people who are not fat. Maybe a lot of kinds of women do that. I used to do my online dating and look at everybody through the lens of will you fancy me? Not do I fancy you?
Yeah.
And that was really not conducive to having good dates. And then one day I was like, let's change things up. What if I did things differently? What if I was looking at people and thinking do I fancy you? And literally overnight, the quality of my dates went up, and I started having a lot more fun.
I know you're both not single now, but you had lots of time online dating, so
7 years.
7 years of
I did
online
my
dating.
time.
Yeah.
I wish I could say that I had some. I mean, some of them are okay experiences, but I did not. I know that you really enjoyed dating, didn't you? I just didn't. I get very emotionally invested very easily, and I get very attached very easily, and then I do the whole reciprocal liking thing where I'm I only like them because they like me, and and there was a lot of that. So really, I hated it, and I'm very glad to be out of the game. So, sorry.
Both your heroines talk about this scary thing of dating as a fat person. Do you think it is a very different experience?
Yeah. Culturally, we are just so fat-phobic. It is such a taboo thing. It's such a scary thing. If you are not fat, it is a thing you are terrified of being. If you are fat, you're hyper-aware of how you navigate the world. You try and really minimize any potential friction with anyone in public. Just in case it sort of turns weird, there's no way that can't then impact how you date and how you see yourself.
I think a big turning point for me was when I thought, you know what, I'm going to put a full-length selfie on my dating app, photos. I'm going to do it. But that took me years to get to that stage.
I remember reading the press release for Welcome to Your Life, where you'd written a fat girl gets to be the protagonist of her own story rather than a silly footnote in someone else's. Is that part of why you wanted to write this book?
Yeah, I feel very #blessed that we're living in a moment where more people are writing more books representing more people, but I do feel the chub protagonist is still quite a rarity, and I just liked the idea of adding to a growing tradition of writing different kinds of people getting to be romantic heroines.
Do you think books and media are getting better at celebrating diverse bodies? No.
I wouldn't, I wouldn't say so. I wouldn't say we're the norm in what we're doing in terms of, you know, having fat protagonists. It still feels like fat phobia is like the type of discrimination that's kind of okay.
Yeah.
You know, it's like a last. You know, I definitely feel like because it's everywhere and in TV, and we're still really the butt of jokes. And I just, in anything that I do, I want a fat person front and centre of it.
Both your books touch a lot on friendship, and both Sunny and Serena have amazing female friendships that they kind of partly that they discover along the way. Was writing about female friendship in this positive way important to you, Bethany?
Yeah, so for me it was, I think, something that has been very transformative for me over my my life was developing like fat friends, and whether that was like online or, you know, especially in real life. A big divider between like, does someone feel very comfortable in the world and do they not, is do they have like fat community, like do they have friends that look like them? I became much happier and more comfortable in myself when I had like community.
Do you think we're getting better at accepting that word fat?
I hope so, but I think maybe not. I really don't know, because it's been a thing that I've done for such a long time, but I don't really know how people feel about it.
People still jump in and go, oh no,
Yeah,
no,
all the time.
don't insult yourself, kind of.
I am going to refer to myself as fat. Like, I've been this size for a very long time. I'm sick of kind of apologising for it, and I'm sick of going around going, oh, I'm just a bit bloated. You know, it's like, this is not a wheat allergy. It's not because I had an upper crust baguette on the train. This is what I look like, and that's okay.
What was your favourite scenes to write?
One where Sunny goes on a hen do, because I've been on really heinous hen do's. I've been on so many that I was like, oh, I just want to get the horror of just loads of women being thrown into a room, and nobody really knows anyone else. We've all got one person in common. You can't really talk to the bride to be because she's kind of, you know, yeah. And then you're just like, oh, now I have to make conversation with somebody who I have absolutely nothing in common with. So yeah, I was like, and I'm a big fan of kind of putting all my protagonists in horrible situations. And like,
just torture.
Yeah, like chasing them up a tree and like throwing rocks at them. So yeah, that was fun.
Because I'm the complete opposite, and I'm such a like little baby, and I hate writing. Like, I really hate writing scenes where like something bad happens, or like someone is inconvenienced or is unhappy. So I really find writing like the bad. That's why I needed to like spitball with my husband for like bad days, because I'm just like, I just want to think about the nice days. So my favorite scenes to write are always like good days. You know, like when you're vibing, like when you know that it's like going well and you're feeling very good. That's like my favorite stuff to write.
Thank you.